You
So
took
do
it
you
that
need
way, and I'm
anything
so
from
sorry.
do you need anything from the male species? Do you need anything from?
Yeah.
Exactly. But I digress.
I didn't say I
I just said I digress.
I didn't even say that I didn't. Jesus Christ.
I
Yeah,
never
so
said you did. I just said I digress.
But bro,
I am convinced that my words are
I
never
said I
going to be
digress. I didn't say
taken
you said
as
nothing
I am
wrong.
saying them. So
I
and
never
it's
said you said
okay.
nothing wrong.
I'm
I said I
cool. Don't
digress.
worry about it.
hey bro, I heard what you said, and I'll be honest with you.
Bo, can I ask you something, Bo? Last time I seen this show, I seen you and Darwin go into it, and we was talking about relationships and marriage. And you was like, why does it always have to be such a negative perspective? But you just did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We know that a woman don't need to just depend on a man for like that's a given. Like we know that she needs her own independence. Like we're talking about the positive aspects of needing each other. So I just feel like you kind of shifted it to somewhere else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we already know the negative aspects of needing somebody. We already know that when you just can't get over them and it's this toxic addiction. We're not talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Because a man could be like that for a woman. It can go either way. So I think you kind of shifted into a protect women type of. It's like you can need somebody, and it doesn't have to be like this. We know women are independent. Like it's 2026. We know that you don't need nobody. But do we need the energy from each other? If it was that, because it wasn't the case, we wouldn't be here. It'd just all be a world of just individuals. Like we need something innately from each other, regardless of how we can take care of ourselves financially and economically. And I just feel like you kind of shifted it to, be careful because a guy can get you type of thing. And I don't think that's what it is.
So I am finally convinced between last night and tonight that anything that I say is going to always be taken a certain way. Because what I did there was admitted the fact that this is what I was taught, and this is something that I have learned to think of differently. However, it's still there. And for a lot of women like me, those thoughts are still there. We are I specifically am trying to actively and intentionally think of this differently, because I do know that men communicate very differently and they receive things very differently. And I said that True and Mont specifically have helped me understand that. That was me saying, I understand that the way I think is not the way a man thinks now. And now I'm being more intentional about not being that way. And I'm so sorry that you took that negatively, but that is not how I meant it at all whatsoever. I was not dragging this protect women in it. I was just telling you the mindset of of women who are told not to need and not to rely on a man. However, we do need to get on the same page about what that need means for men and for women. And I can understand and I agree with how men view need. You
So do
took it
you
that
need
way, and I'm
anything
so
from
sorry.
do you need anything from the male species? Do you need anything from?
Yeah.
Exactly. But I digress.
I didn't say
I just said I digress.
I didn't even say that I didn't. Jesus Christ.
I
Yeah.
never
So
said you didn't. I just said I digress.
But bro,
I am convinced that my words are
I
never
said I
going to be
digress. I didn't say
taken
you said
as
nothing
I am
wrong.
saying them. So,
I
and
never
it's
said you said
okay.
nothing wrong.
I'm
I said I
cool. Don't
digress.
worry about it.
hey bro, I heard what you said, and I'll be honest with you. From your message, it started out very similar to my message, if I'm not
Be
mistaken. I could have
right.
heard it wrong, but
No, it
I
was. It
think it
was
was
your message, Trev. That's what I was gonna ask Illa. What was the difference between what Bo stated and what Trev stated way earlier when he
I
started
said I
talking?
digress, man. That means I
I
dropped
just
it.
wanna ask because you said that
I
Bo
said I
conversation
digress, which
in
means
a
okay, I
negative.
heard you. You made it clear. I digress. So
Make it.
I'm digressing. We can move on.
I'm not gonna move on. I'm gonna finish my statement and then we can move on.
All right, go ahead.
Like I was stating, Bo, you stated that Bo took this conversation in a negative
I
direction.
never said
But
negative.
did he not say negative? Did he say
I
negative?
said that. All right,
Thank
my fault.
you.
Well,
Thank
I didn't
you
mean it.
for being
I
honest.
mean a different
With
direction. Okay, but a
Trev,
different direction. Not
with
necessarily
a different
negative, but a
direction.
different
But
direction. Different
Trev
direction.
took the conversation there first. She didn't say anything different than what Trev stated in the beginning. He literally stated the same thing. He said we didn't need each other. When we're saying that, we need to make sure we understand we're asking people to be codependent on other people. Bo said she's trying to tell women who have that delusion or that mindset of romanticism that you can't be codependent on men. Like she said the same thing. She just spoke about
Okay.
it from her own perspective, and Trev spoke about it from more of a general perspective. But they said
Okay.
the same thing. And yet
Okay.
you decided that this was the moment that you had to call Bo out.
I
But
didn't.
you know,
I just asked her a question. I didn't call her out. I said I digress. I didn't say, "Yo, you fucked up. You crazy as hell." I just felt like she focused on the next. I didn't receive it like the same way from Trev. So maybe that's just me. I just received it a little bit.
so you receive information even though it's the same from a man differently from a woman.
No, not necessarily.
Oh
Just
no,
in this
don't do
particular
that.
conversation, I did.
That's what he just said, Trev. You
But
said don't do that, but
No,
that's
look,
what
don't
just
do that.
happened.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So,
That's
Ty,
just
here's the
what happened.
question: Did you agree with Bo or did you disagree with Bo?
I understood Bo, but I disagreed with what she was saying, just like I disagreed with you. But the only reason I spoke up is because I found it funny that Illa decided to call her out
so what
on
did you
the
disagree
same
with then?
thing that you talked about.
All right, we got that. So what you disagree with that she said?
I disagree with the mindset that you get to this point where women don't necessarily need to have the mindset of needing men. I think we need each other, period. No, you shouldn't be codependent on anyone, but that foundational need is still there, right? Even though she was taught growing up to not need a man, they were even wrong to a certain degree. You need them. You need them just like they need us. The need is there, but you just don't need to be codependent on the person. You shouldn't need them so much that your life will end if they're no longer there. So no, I
I
didn't agree
just,
with
I just
everything.
thought that was obvious though. But
To
like
be
I
fair,
said, I
that's what
thought.
I was saying, Ty.
Okay. I
That's
felt like
that's
that's
exactly what I
wrapped
was
it up
saying.
at. That's where you wrapped it up. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found I I went from one extreme to the next, and now I found my way in the middle.
That's fair.
When women say, I don't need a man, what do they mean, in your opinion?
I think it means they don't need the men like to take care of them financially. And I think that's really what it boils down to because we essentially need them for everything else. I don't think they mean like we don't need men emotionally or spiritually or to be our leaders. If they do, they're misguided. But I just think now that they feel like there's this delusion of a level playing field in terms of like economic progression and we can work and finance ourselves and buy homes and all of these things like that. They don't feel like they need a man to serve that purpose. I think that's what they mean. And I honestly, we know money make the world go around. So it's like money is tied to everything. That's your lifestyle. So men would be directly tied to that. So if you feel like I have money now, I don't necessarily need the man that would be tied to that money. Again, it's a delusion, but I just think to summarize it, that's what they mean. I'm not one of those women, but I know what they mean when they say that. Like, I don't need a man. I just think it means they don't need a man to take care of them financially. Just saying. I could be
For
wrong.
clarity, are we talking about a particular person or are we talking about in general? Because I feel like we started out
I think it's just general
talking
shit.
about like one person, like needing one single person in your life. Like when Darwin had his explanation, he talked about an individual in his life, and that was what I made a point against. But now it seems as if we've shifted into needing men at all or needing women at all. But I think everyone, like Ella was saying, it's obvious that we all, as far as meeting women just for part of society and vice versa, I think that's
I
like
think
a consensus.
I think what Darwin was doing was giving an example of the totality, giving an example of the need. His example was just a woman. You might need a father figure. You might we need somebody. I think he just gave an example of he just happened the woman. He just happened to need the person. He just happened to need it. He didn't know he needed it until you found out. Because a lot of times we don't know we need stuff until it's there. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize it? And it can scare you sometimes. And I've been guilty of that. I've met women that I didn't realize I needed them until it was too late. You know what I'm saying? Talking about years ago. And it's like, I think that's what he was talking about. He was just giving an example of when I found it, I realized I needed that. You may not have been look. Sometimes you don't look for what you need; it just finds you. You know what I mean? And just we may not be ready for it because sometimes when you confront what you need, it's kind of like a mirror. It's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not ready to be that vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like maybe I don't need it, or maybe I'm not ready for this need. Maybe I'm comfortable in where I'm at. So, but I think that's what he was saying. I don't think he was just focusing on just a woman, but the woman just happened to present what he needed at the time.
So if you said you made a point and said that you found out that you needed that a particular woman when it was too late. What do you mean by that?
This was like when I was younger, like, you know what I'm saying? You be taking women for granted. Like I think I think when I was younger, it was a different breed of women than it is now. I think back in the day, it was a
I agree.
lot of sweethearts, and we just like, oh man, it's they everywhere. I'll find that again. No, the fuck you might not. You know what I'm saying? And when I was young, I met this one girl. She was just like very, very. She was just so sweet, and I just took her for granted because I'm like, she's sweet. She ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? She married now, like she should be. You know what I'm saying? With like 3, 4 kids, like she should be. But she always had those wifely qualities. You know, what I mean? She was
That's
always
the one
just
you let
sweet.
get away.
One of them. You know what I'm saying?
One of
That was
them,
one of my.
right?
That was like my earliest
Do you
one.
see? Do you see my point now? What that was one of them that you let get away. How'd you make out in life?
But not to be cocky, but everybody not me, you feel me? Some people got 1 or 2 chances. Some dudes might get 15 to 20, but luckily, you know what I'm saying? That shit like a bus for me. That shit always gonna run. So what I'm talking about is, but some dudes don't always get that opportunity. So they might have
So
1
if that's the
or
case,
2. But you can't
then why
guarantee
did
that.
you need her?
You
If
said
you made out
how?
okay in life, right? You made out in life. You made out okay in life, regardless, right? Regardless of being
Did
able
I?
to have this one that you let get away. Did you?
What I'm saying is getting out. What does get out look like? Like you got a crib, you got some money. Like you could have all of that
Yeah.
shit. You could gain the world and lose your soul. Like
Yep.
I'm all right. My
Did
mother's
you
gone.
lose
My
your
father's
soul?
gone. Like I got a lot of loss in my life. So what I'm trying to say this. So yeah, I made it, but I've lost a lot of people along the way. So it would have been nice to still have her here because I know she cared and I know she loved me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you open the door because eventually you get tired of the process and you meet this one and you meet that one and you meet this one and then it becomes like you start to wound up. So you're fine. You got money. You can go places. But what's life without someone that you know gives a fuck about you? You know what I'm saying? So
So
yeah, I've
have you
met
been
more,
having
but it's
trouble
not
since?
like her though.
You saying but the bus keep running,
The
right?
bus keep
So
running, but sometimes sometimes I'm like fuck it, I'm gonna walk. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just saying like I can get on the bus, but I might get an Uber this time. Like just because I got it's like somebody who got money. Eventually you get tired of buying shit. You get tired of shopping spree. You just be like, man, fuck it. I'm just about to remember on Batman when he was the man, but he had to break himself to what he became. Just he act like he was just homeless. So you can get tired of that shit too. But I'm blessed to have that opportunity though.